Hi everyone, Morten Ostad here with another video. So this morning I got up really early to go, well, sort of the length of Denmark, almost all the way south, to visit a site I've always wanted to see here in Denmark. And I didn't go. Because when I woke up I had a dental emergency and I had to find a dentist here in Skagen. And they opened around 8. Well, they opened at 8 this morning. And a bird is singing outside. And I don't think I've ever gone to the dentist after my early teens here in Denmark, because I usually do that up in Norway. So I got that done, and then, well, that basically erased 3 hours of my day, and I had to do something else. And this is what I did. Næste station, VC.
Station Aalborg Vestby.
So, you guys, I hope you enjoyed my trip to Aalborg. It's been 14 months since I did that last. It was also 14 months since I was last here in Skagen. So you know that I am wrapping up my existence here. I have a week and change left before I go back to Norway, and then the stuff that I want to keep will be packed up and put in storage, and the rest, most of the furniture and other things that are in here will be thrown out, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get back to Denmark. So I hope. You guys know I have some things to settle up in Norway, and whether or not that works out, well, it depends on that for whether or not I get to return to Denmark. But if I do return to Denmark, it will be to a new place here in Skagen, hopefully, and it won't be my dear house that you are watching here. So those things, they don't really, I don't know, some of it's old, but things like, posters and my record collection that I have here, my movie collection that I have here, and some other personal objects, of course, will be put in storage, along with my dear bike, which I call Sleipner, which I think you may have seen in a couple of my videos over the time. So the trip went to Aalborg, like I said, and one of the reasons for that is time. I would have liked to go to Aarhus, but it does double the time to get down there, and Aalborg is kind of a safe bet. It's a wonderful sort of handy-sized city with a great city center, and if you saw the video, some lovely streets, lovely old architecture. There's some lovely newer architecture too. I don't think I really featured that in the video, but there you go. So one of the reasons I wanted to go to Aalborg this time around was, in addition to feeling like I'm doing something nice, now that I'm having to do something that's, breaking my heart, basically, is to look for her records. And we are the vinyl community, so I'm sure you guys can understand that. Shout out to Russ over there in northwestern USA, Pacific Northwest. He received a package that I sent him from Norway, and his response and smile and everything from that made that worth the whole thing. And that's the thing about the vinyl community that has helped me a little bit, to say the least, over these past few months, talking to you guys and comments and everything. But another reason for going to Aalborg was to return to Lakridspizza, the record shop that I went to for the first time 14 months ago, which at that time was about 5 or 6 months old. Well, they have moved since I was there last. Not far. They have moved from was it Nørregade number 17 to Nørregade number 21. But the new place looks great. I had a quick word with the owner, and after a little coaching, he did remember me, and so I hope he will enjoy seeing the video. I didn't film a lot of bin diving, to be honest. My back hurts, and holding the camera and everything, and there were some other guys in there as well, and I felt sometimes I don't feel awkward. This time I did. And I think I picked up some really pretty good stuff. I was thinking about going to Lesehesten afterwards, but I spent way too much money, as it were. I kind of spent what I had set out spending, because I thought I'm going to treat myself. My house is going to be gone soon. This will probably be the only chance I have to go on a vacation this year, if you want to call this a vacation, because when I get back to Norway now, I got to go back to the health place, and when that's done, I don't know what's what's going to happen with me, to be honest, because I have a few things lined up that I have, the doctor has done some things and some other people have done some things, and I have to wait for outcomes of that and results of that. And of course, I don't have any place to go on vacation anymore because my house will have been sold and, be in the hands of other people. So that's why I treated myself. But I didn't go to Les Esten, like I said, because I had spent that much and my back was hurting and I was juggling a bag with records and my bike. But I did go to Espresso House. I found a lovely spot at, what is it? Oberst, Colonel, something or other square, where I've been before with friends of mine, like my Norwegian friend Kjetil. We used to go to Søgaardsborghus and drink, all these different craft beers and everything. I went past a few of these craft beer bars and some new ones that have shown up, and I even noticed that a station building on the way down there was now a craft brewery, and it was like, yeah. Sometimes it feels like it wasn't that long ago, and sometimes it feels like it was ages ago. But it's 2 years and almost 5 months now since I last had a beer or any alcohol at all. So, thank God for records, eh? So, you guys want to see what I got? Well, let's have a look. Very handy. I had the bag right there. And I was looking for a few particulars and didn't necessarily get them. I did look through the bins at some secondhand stuff, but apart from nearly buying the two first, Shakespeare's Sister and maybe getting Susie and the Banshees, but they were kind of worn and stuff, so... Yeah, and then of course I was looking for, the usual grails, Crowded House, Together Alone, that Manic Street Preachers record I'm missing, that Super Furry Animals record I'm missing, and so on and so forth. But, I didn't think I would find them, and I didn't. So, okay. Well, what order should I show these? Well, I'll show you the first record I picked. And it was in a bin where I picked up more stuff of very reasonably and nicely priced reductions. And pretty much right away I find a record that I have wanted for a long while and I keep putting off getting it. This band released 3 albums. I have them on CD, early 2000 band, and I have their first album on vinyl, and I want the second. I don't think the third has been reissued. Anyway, these are the Thrills with Let's Bottle Bohemia. This is such a wonderful album, guys. And early 2000s, that sort of British guitar revival that we got around that time with bands like The Coral and whenever I'm supposed to say the rest, I forget who the rest are, but you know what I mean. This is not a gatefold, is it? This is not a gatefold. So very heavy record. No wonder, because there's a single in here. I think I knew that from way back and I've forgotten. So here we are, the Thrills. Here we go. Look at that. Isn't that a nice label? Oh, isn't this a lovely room? Is this my last video from here? Well, we'll see if I manage to do that other trip that I was alluding to. I was like painting in it broad strokes early on, but there's a record shop down there that I would like to visit if I go to that place. So, very cool. I keep forgetting with the Thrills from Ireland. So Connor Deasy, Daniel Ryan, Kevin Horan, Padre McMahon, Ben Kerrigan, Alan Cullivan. No, that was a manager, so let's not talk about him. And yeah, oh wow, there's the record, guys. If you don't know the Thrills, I do really recommend them. They only, for some reason, only made 3 records. They didn't keep churning them out like the Coral did. Really, kind of music that gives you a raison d'être or something like that. Probably used that word wrong. So next up, we have Muse. I really like Muse, and I have all of Muse's records on CD, and their latest on vinyl. Yes, that's correct. But they're releasing a new album very soon, if I remember correctly. It's one of those bands who became gigantic doing their own stuff, not adhering to what the record company told them to do, and really gambled on their career, but somehow managed to come through everything. And they sort of last 5 or 6 years, I feel when you really like a band and you can't get around to why other people decide not to like them anymore, it's really confusing. And I suppose they sort of became too big for their bridges or whatever, and people decided that no, now it's time to talk them down. And not in the Coldplay way, because you could never really blame or accuse, Muse of being boring. No, I think there were. I think one of the problem was that their conspiracy theories sort of came through, maybe. And the truths they were telling us were okay as long as they were outlandish, but when they started to really become true, I don't know if that rubbed some people the wrong way. Anyway, this is their second album. I had kind of thought I would get their first album, but they had a lot of Muse there, but they didn't have the debut album. So I got what is arguably their best album, I think. This is their second album, Origin of Symmetry. And I remember I was living here in Skagen when I got the debut album all those years ago on CD, and I loved it. And then I read afterward, no, you're not supposed to love Muse. Why? It's like when I really digged after the first album, digged the Charlatans, and people said, no, you're not supposed to like them. And I was like, why? Well, because they're Stone Roses knockoffs. And that was, what they were being told. We were being told about. No, not supposed to like them. They are Radiohead copycats. Well, whether or not they were, they weren't. They sure were not doing that on this wonderful second album. This is a gatefold, but I am in Denmark and I don't have any plastic sleeves, so I think I'll just... So, there is the Original Symmetry by David Foldvari, 2001. Oh, that's the beautiful bird song. We used to have all these wonderful Turkish doves here with this wonderful hoo 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 hoo. I grew up on that. What you hear now is those forest doves have outcompeted them and are basically just, they're about 2 or 3 times bigger, and I was reading all about this. I was asking AI or something, what the hell happened to all those Turkish doves? Yeah, no, they're red listed here in Denmark now, apparently. Here we go, guys. Muse. Sorry if this goes on a while. I suppose this is the first day in a while where I'm feeling a little... I'm not thinking too much about having to leave here for the last time. And I'm a little uppity and happy that I did take a trip today. Yes, another tooth is gone, but yeah, at least it's not bothering me anymore. Next up, the Mars Volta. So if you watched my video from Stockholm last year, I picked up 2 Mars Voltas in Stockholm. The brand new album and one of their older ones, Octahedron or whatever, and that was a second-hand one, but a really nice one, except tear. And then I have their debut full-length studio album. So this is my 4th Mars Volta on the old vinyl there. I have all their studio albums except the latest one on CD as well. And again, pretty nice price. This 230 Danish kroner, by the way. Yeah, the Thrills was just 140, so that was really amazing. Yes. No, I'm not. Sorry, guys. You'll just have to Google what the gatefold looks like. So I have to schlep all these records that I bought now up to Norway, and then if I'm moving from Norway, I have to travel all the way down here again. Oh, come on, really? Yeah. Again, cheap on the inner sleeve. So there's the label. Very artsy. Nice. Yeah, I think Mars Volta has been consistently very, very strong. And I guess the thing that I have thought on their last 2 albums is that they're almost a bit too approachable now. Their songs aren't quite as difficult to wrap your head around as they used to be, maybe. I don't know. Probably a wrong thing to say. This is Amputecture exclusive Clouds Hills edition. This is the cover like so. Next up, we go to Sweden. And this was also... these records aren't that expensive to begin with, and it's been reduced further, 170 kroner. This was in a bin of it was in actually a bin of relatively new releases. This is a reissue. So I'm sorry, I am losing my mind here, thread here. So the band is Swedish, like I said, and it's Bob Hund. Bob Hund was very popular sort of in the mid to late 90s. They were the new big thing to a lot of people around there. I would say that, didn't keep up, except for in Scandinavia. I remember, was it Damon Albarn and Blur were really big fans of them. So the cool thing about Bob Hund is that they sing in Swedish, but they sing in dialect Swedish, and they sing in the Skånska dialect, the Scania dialect, the southern part of Sweden, which, rightfully should be still part of Denmark, just like Bohuslän and other parts of Sweden. Oh, sorry, I should avoid politics, that's right. But yeah, no, they have this wonderful strong dialect. And, after my mother passed away, I found out that on my mother's side, I am just pure Skånsk through and through, backwards and backwards and backwards, and and I was thinking, I found out that my Norwegian heritage is, farmers upon farmers upon farmers upon farmers, and I thought, well, Skåne, you got Sweden, hey, maybe there's some old Danish, higher ups. Oh Christ, what is the word? Aristocracy, or Swedish? Nah, it's farmhands, washing ladies, factory workers, farmers. But yeah, Bob Hund now. So bear with me. This cover, I think it's hilarious, and their covers often are. They have a cover where they have altered the face of one of the band members, I think it was, so it looks a little bit inbred, and the title is Stenåldern kan börja, which means the Stone Age can begin. So this is just basically called Jag har ingen omslagsidé. Sorry, Martin. So I don't have any idea for the cover art. Sorry, Martin. Ja. Det överexponerade gömstället is the title of the record, so that means the overexposed hiding place. So is this printed, or is it? Yeah. So again, I want to avoid getting the shrink wrap off in case that is a real post-it. Let me see. Okay, so it's a gatefold, but with one record in here. So there's the insert with whatever information they deem necessary, and this is the record. Sort of bare bones. That is the joke, I suppose. And yeah, that's it. And the gatefold, for those of you who are interested, is just basically white. There's nothing there. So they put up the moolah for a gatefold, and they kept the joke all the way running through. I think that's brilliant, guys. And yeah, they recently released a new album, and they played at Big Dipper in Oslo, and they are touring this year, or was it last year? I think they disbanded now, yeah, unfortunately. So the next record is by an artist that I have been listening to since I was 17, I think, when she was in a band called the Sugar Cubes. And of course we're talking about Björk from Iceland. And I've always known I wanted this on vinyl, but I've been keeping it, so often they're too expensive. And also I know that if I start buying one of her records on vinyl, I'm going to want the rest. So I have all her studio albums on CD. I have several live CDs, and I also have 4 or 5 remix CDs by Björk, and this is debut. And this is one of my. I mean, if we're talking favorite debut albums by anyone, this is just so amazing. I love this album, and the next two, well, the 4th album is also great. Things started becoming a little too. I understand that she wants to do what she does because she can and because that's her journey, but throat singing and guttural noises and so on, I'm glad I've heard it, but I'm not necessarily feeling, I don't really feel that I need to listen to it always. Oh, Morten is waffling. He's not taking a clear stance. Yeah, so it's a top loader, which is I don't know, somewhat rare. And what do we have? Well, we have more or less nothing, because we have what I'm not a big fan of. Just a paper inner sleeve. And there is the record. Luckily, I have better ones at home in Oslo. And finally, and I put back other records because of this one. Not that it's, I mean, it's cheaper than most of them. Shout out to Jack and some of you guys over there in the UK. I love twee pop, chamber pop, sophisti-pop, and especially of the Scottish variety. I love Teenage Fan Club, and I love Belle and Sebastian, of course, and other stuff. Who else was I thinking of? Never mind that. So if you do love Belle and Sebastian, I think you will enjoy, and it's finally on vinyl again, Camera Obscura. Now this is wonderful pop music, guys. I don't own anything by them, but I have heard them here and there. And this is Biggest Bluest Hi-Fi. Camera Obscura's beloved long out of print debut album is back on vinyl for its 25th anniversary. Biggest Bluest Hi-Fi immediately marked Camera Obscura as one of Scotland's finest exports, at the forefront of the burgeoning chamber pop movement. A modern lyrical twist on the 1960s arrangements of Bacharach, Webb, and Hazelwood, said Pitchfork. Camera Obscura. I mean, I have been to a building in Edinburgh, which is a tower of sorts that looks like it's a place to study the stars, not far from the bridge over to the castle, which is the Camera Obscura. So is this named after that? I should have checked, and I didn't. But anyway, guys, that was my trip to Aalborg, and yeah, it felt good in a way. Not spending this much money, but I had planned on spending this much money, but add a third to that of the expenditure today because I had to pull my tooth. And I had to pay more than was on the bill because, of course, I paid in Norwegian money. And since I'm not a resident in Denmark, it was slightly more expensive. But it was still cheaper than going to the dentist in Norway. So yeah. So the band, Lindsay Boyd, Tracy Ann Campbell, Gavin Dunbar, John Henderson, Kenny McKeeve, and Lee Thompson. So yeah. And this is kind of astonishing in this day and age. 6 records. Not one of them with any weird colors. Just good old traditional black. So guys, any comments about my trip? Any questions about my trip? Any, how are you doing? And about the records. Yeah, if you have any opinions about those, that would be cool. How are you? Are you doing all right? This is going to be a long video, and yeah, that's just the way it is, I suppose. So Monday today, and I think I will be going back to Norway Wednesday next week. So hopefully I will be managing to go on that trip that I was alluding to. I was almost cutting it out in cardboard paper. Cardboard stock. Anyway, and maybe just a little trip down to Frederikshavn as well. Check out if there's anything good over at the Der Lesehesten. yeah, because you know, if I don't spend money, what's the economy gonna be like? Yeah. Shout out to Jack. Shout out to Russ and Gavin and Mike and some other people. Some of the Swedes, Kim, who I can't link to, Janne, who else? I don't know. Brian, maybe. Trevor and Trevor. Lloyd, David and David. I should, Chris. Midge. Almost said his real name there, didn't I? Are we supposed to? I don't remember. Yeah. And David. A lot of you guys are doing purges. I'm not sure I like purges. They remind me of my wasteful being of getting all these records. Thanks for watching. If you managed to get through all this babbling, and I hope to see you guys soon in another video. If it's going to be from here, well, time will tell. Cheers, guys.